I'm Dr. Nova. Let's talk about the truth behind the discomfort many couples feel during their very first intimate experience, when the male body is highly responsive and the female body is still adjusting and sensitive. Sometimes silence has a sound. It's the sound that fills the room right before something begins, something new, something unknown. For many, that first intimate moment isn't full of passion. It's full of fear, a racing heartbeat, a trembling breath, a question in the back of the mind: will it hurt? And sometimes it does. The body tenses, the muscles resist, and the pain feels sharper than expected. A tear might fall not just from the eyes, but from within. Because in that moment, it's not just the body reacting. It's 1,000 emotions colliding: confusion, fear, shame, even guilt. Some women see a trace of blood and think something inside them broke. But nothing is broken. It's only the body responding to something new, unfamiliar, intense, real. What breaks in that moment isn't the body even. It's the innocence of expectation. The myth that first time must be magical, effortless, or perfect. But pain, both physical and emotional, doesn't mean something went wrong. It means something deep happened, something that the body and mind are still learning to understand. Have you ever heard someone say, "the first time always hurts"? Maybe you've seen it in movies, the nervous faces, the tension, the fear. But what if I told you that most of what we've been told about the first time is not just exaggerated? It's wrong. Today, I'm Dr. Nova, and together we'll talk about what really happens inside your body and mind during your first intimate experience. Why some people feel pain, why others feel pleasure, and how you can make that first time something safe, calm, and unforgettable, instead of scary. The biggest reason people feel pain isn't physical, it's psychological. When we're afraid, our body reacts. The brain sends danger signals. Your heart races, your muscles tighten, and yes, the body you wanted to relax suddenly feels like stone. It's not you being broken. It's your brain trying to protect you. That's why before anything physical happens, you need emotional safety, comfort, respect, and clear communication. Because when your mind feels safe, your body follows. Let's be honest, your first time might not feel like a movie. Sometimes it's awkward, sometimes it's confusing, sometimes it's even a little painful. But here's the truth most people never say. Pain isn't normal, tension is. When the body isn't ready, when there's dryness, fear, or pressure, it reacts with resistance. That's what creates the discomfort people mistake for pain. So what's the fix? Preparation, patience, and yes, communication. Talk before you touch. Ask before you act. The more open the conversation, the calmer the experience. Pleasure isn't something that just happens. It's a combination of chemistry, comfort, and connection. If you rush it, your body will protect itself. If you slow down, explore, and listen, it will open up to you. There's no race to finish, no rule book to follow. Your first time doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be real. Let's get scientific for a moment. The human body is incredibly intelligent. It produces natural lubrication, hormones, and endorphins that reduce pain and increase pleasure. But only when you're relaxed. If you're tense or anxious, the body shuts those systems down. That's why deep breathing, trust, and patience are key. Pleasure is not just physical, it's neurological. Your brain must feel safe before your body can enjoy anything. There's a myth that says pain proves it's real. There's another that says if it doesn't hurt, it doesn't count. Both are lies. Pain is not proof of love. Discomfort is not a sign of maturity. Real intimacy is built on consent, communication, and comfort, not blood, not fear, not pressure. Forget what culture told you. You are allowed to take your time. No textbook can predict how it feels. Each person carries a different story, level of trust, and physical rhythm. Comparing yourself to others only creates pressure. Your experience is valid simply because it's yours. The body reacts to emotion. When the mind feels safe, muscles relax. When it feels fear, they tighten. Understanding this simple truth can turn discomfort into calmness. Cultural stories say it always hurts, it proves purity, or it defines love. Science says otherwise. Pain is often tension, not damage. Awareness removes fear, and fear is the real enemy of comfort. Knowing how your body works is not shameful, it's powerful. Learning about anatomy, hygiene, and safety builds confidence and prevents trauma. Ignorance never protects anyone. When people hear the phrase first time, their minds often jump straight to the physical act. But science, psychology, and real human experience tell a deeper story. The first time is not defined by a single physical moment. It begins long before that, in the space between curiosity and connection, between trust and courage. Each person's experience is unique because every body, every emotion, every story is different. Some reach that point with someone they deeply trust. Others arrive there with questions, uncertainty, or even fear. What truly defines a first time is readiness. Not age, not timing, not pressure from society. It's the quiet understanding that you are emotionally aware, physically informed, and mentally comfortable. When readiness is ignored, confusion replaces clarity. When readiness is respected, the experience becomes a moment of learning and personal growth. So before the physical step, ask yourself, do I feel emotionally safe? Can I communicate openly without fear? Do I understand my own comfort levels and boundaries? Those are the real questions that shape a healthy beginning. Because intimacy, in its true form, isn't about doing, it's about understanding why discomfort happens. Discomfort is one of the most common fears surrounding first-time intimacy. Many imagine it as a sign that something is wrong, but in reality, it's often the body's natural response to something new. From a physiological perspective, stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline rise when a person feels anxious or uncertain. This tension affects muscles throughout the body, especially the pelvic region, making them involuntarily tighten. When muscles are tight, even gentle touch can feel uncomfortable. This isn't pain caused by harm. It's a signal from the body saying, I'm not relaxed yet. It's the same kind of signal your shoulders send when you're nervous before an exam, only in a different part of the body. Not pressure or comparison. The power of emotional connection. Science has proven something poets always knew. Connection changes everything. The human brain is wired to seek emotional safety before physical closeness. When two people share trust and empathy, the brain releases oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone. This chemical reduces anxiety, lowers heart rate, and creates a sense of warmth and calm. That's why emotional connection often leads to a more comfortable, confident experience. Without emotional safety, the body stays guarded. With it, the body relaxes, communicates better, and feels more natural. True connection also means communication. It's about asking, are you comfortable? Or saying, I need to slow down. These small sentences build an atmosphere of mutual respect. Many people underestimate how powerful empathy can be. When someone feels understood, their entire nervous system softens. That's not magic. It's neuroscience. Emotional connection doesn't begin in a moment of touch. It begins in conversation, in laughter, in eye contact, in shared vulnerability. When that foundation is strong, the experience becomes less about performance and more about presence. So remember, the most attractive thing isn't a perfect body. It's a peaceful mind and a kind heart. That's the energy that transforms nervousness into trust and fear into freedom. Aftercare and emotional balance. After an intimate moment, silence often speaks the loudest. It's in those quiet minutes that emotions rise to the surface. Relief, curiosity, joy, or sometimes confusion. This emotional wave is perfectly normal. The brain releases endorphins and dopamine, which create feelings of calmness and attachment. But when expectations don't match reality, those chemicals can also cause sudden sadness or emptiness, something psychologists call post-intimacy drop. That's why aftercare matters. It's not just physical hygiene, it's emotional reassurance. Ask each other, how do you feel? Hold hands, share thoughts, laugh if something was awkward. These small acts rebuild emotional balance. Aftercare is also about self-reflection. Give yourself space to breathe, to process, to understand what you learned about yourself. Did you feel respected, safe, emotionally seen? Those reflections teach more about intimacy than any book ever could. And if you feel discomfort or emotional heaviness afterward, it's okay to talk about it with your partner, a trusted friend, or even a counselor. Healthy communication heals faster than silence. In the long run, aftercare strengthens relationships and self-esteem. It turns a single moment into a meaningful chapter of growth and awareness. Closing message. The first experience of intimacy isn't about perfection. It's about discovery. Discomfort doesn't mean failure, and calmness doesn't mean indifference. Every feeling is data, a message from your body and your heart. When you understand what first time really means, when you listen to your body's signals, when you value emotional connection, and when you care for yourself afterward, you transform a nervous beginning into a confident foundation. Knowledge is protection. Communication is power. And empathy. Empathy is the bridge between fear and comfort. So walk this path with patience, respect, and awareness. Because real intimacy doesn't start with touch. It starts with understanding. Understanding physical arousal, the science behind natural responses. When two people share emotional closeness, their bodies often respond in ways that are guided by nature and biology. These responses are not random. They are part of how the human body is for intimacy, comfort, and connection. Understanding this process is essential for education, safety, and mutual respect. 1. The role of the brain and emotions. Everything begins in the brain. Attraction, affection,